Good morning, gentlemen. In criminal law, the task of the court is to determine whether the record contains enough evidence for the triers of fact to find beyond a reasonable doubt each element of the offense involved. We review the evidence, both direct and circumstantial, together with the reasonable inferences to be drawn therefrom, in the light most favorable to the government and the army. At least 3 different standards of proof are within the realm of possibility: proof beyond a reasonable doubt, proof by clear and convincing evidence, and proof by a preponderance of evidence. Clearly, when the public interest so requires, the court must order that one or more grand juries be summoned, and to properly convict, the government must prove every element of each offense charged beyond a reasonable doubt. Due process clause protects the accused against conviction except upon proof beyond a reasonable doubt of every fact necessary to constitute the crime with which he is charged. Are we clear? You may proceed, Lieutenant.
Colonel, would you agree with the common sense statement that all individuals should be alert for hazards and address them promptly?
Of course, Lieutenant. What is your point?
I apologize, Your Honor. It's just my manner. I had only been lifting a quotation from a standard military regulation, specifically ATP 5-19, Risk Management, a regulation with which at least all military leaders should have some familiarity.
Of course, what is your point?
Yes, Your Honor. Not all members of the military may be responsible to prepare a DD Form 2977 or use a risk management matrix. However, as subordinates, they will tend to rely upon and implement risk guidance from their superior ranked officers and commanders to determine potential changes in the risk level. To do this, they must know the mission, however, and the commander's intent. Everything comes down from the top in the Army. However, risk management practitioners assign specific duties, and completing the DD Form 2977 must, at a minimum, document the what, the who, and the how aspects on the required form. There should be a physical document, a military form with somebody's signature. I will permit you some leeway, Lieutenant, but please present some grounds to establish relevance in this particular inquiry.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Please be more direct, Lieutenant. This form... Yes, Your Honor. The DD Form 2977.
Don't interrupt me, Lieutenant.
My apologies, Your Honor. Again, it's just my mind. What does this form have to do with this court, this inquiry, and with the Colonel, Lieutenant? I was getting to that point, Your Honor.
Then get to your point, Lieutenant. You are testing the patience of this court and unnecessarily prolonging this inquiry. I am certain that the Colonel has far more important tasks to complete this morning, and so does this court.
Yes, Your Honor. Whenever inquiry, we all would agree, is a duty, the party bound to make it is affected with that knowledge, all of which he would have discovered had he in due diligence performed that duty, and means of knowledge with the duty of using them are in equity equivalent to knowledge itself. To constitute criminal negligence, however, essential to conviction of, perhaps, a crime of involuntary manslaughter, an accused conduct must be of such reckless, wanton, or flagrant nature as to indicate a callous disregard for human life and of the probable consequences of that act. By military regulation, with the force of a federal statute, just a basic level common soldier skill is to be proficient enough to react to each situation only by following the leader's directives or performing appropriate actions, and to be prepared to adjust your mission-oriented protective posture or MOP level in case of a nuclear, biological, or even chemical NBC attack. This is a direct quotation from STP 21-1 SMCT, Soldier's Manual of Common Task Skill, Level 1. A private in basic training should understand this. Addressing the command level responsibility with the superintendent as well as the chief of staff, this regulation states that MOP analysis is a process conducted by small unit leaders, battalion level and below, that determines the level of protection to be used and passed on, disseminated down to soldiers, and not in directive from higher echelons as high as the president or even the Secretary of Defense, but with boots on ground and eyes on the objective at the small unit level, which would be here in the command group for West Point. This MOP analysis constitutes that unit's chemical, biological, or nuclear vulnerability assessment as dictated by FM 34 NBC protection. This is ridiculous, Your Honor. Are you going to allow this, Judge? Lieutenant, you may proceed, but you have been warned. And that is my point, Your Honor. According to a determination rendered by the Health and Human Services Secretary on... What are you going to ask me, Lieutenant? My favorite color. You are most welcome, Colonel. Lieutenant, please proceed. I can please continue, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. On February 4th, 2020, the HHS Secretary had determined, pursuant to his authority under Section 564 of the FD&C Act, the Food, Drug, and Cosmetics Act, a provision passed by the Congress in 2006 in direct response to the terror attacks that had occurred not too far from here in Manhattan on 9/11, that there is a public health emergency that has a significant potential to affect national security, defined as military forces, or the health and security of United States citizens not living in Manhattan but abroad, and that involves a novel new coronavirus, NCOV, first detected in Wuhan City, Hubei Province, China in 2019. 2019 NCOV. The virus is now named SARS-CoV-2, which is the cause of the illness COVID-19. Separate and distinct terms to define separate and distinct parts of the problem. We are not in a nuclear, biological, or chemical attack, Lieutenant. What is your point? 85 Federal Regulation 26, published on February 7, 2020, Your Honor. I will handle this, Colonel. Then handle it. The witness shall address this court as judge or Your Honor. I have earned it. Okay, fine, Colonel. Okay, fine, Judge. Lieutenant, thank you, Your Honor, for the court's indulgence. Jesus Christ! God damn, sir. This is bullshit, Judge. This is my courtroom, and I shall handle this, Colonel. Lieutenant, what is your source for this fantastical claim? Thank you again, Your Honor. My regulations. The Colonel, the Chief of Staff, would have approved or completed a DD Form 2977, a standard form from within the Department of Defense, before commencing execution of the planned commencement exercises involving 1,113 seniors, soon-to-be commissioned officers in the U.S. Army at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. Implementing his prevention plan, the Chief of Staff had the graduates living in COVID-19 quarantine for 2 weeks, confined to their dorms, wearing masks and watching Zoom conferences on leadership as they had waited for the President Donald Trump, to speak at their commencement exercises. Prior to that, however, they had been sent home in March because of the coronavirus pandemic, and around 1,100 newly minted Army second lieutenants were, or soon to be, were ordered back to campus after the president abruptly had announced in mid-April that he wanted to go ahead with his previously planned commencement address. This is the first time that this court has been made aware of this, Lieutenant.
This is ridiculous, Judge. May I be excused?
Just a moment, Colonel.
For the love of God, Judge.
Please proceed, Lieutenant. This message was approved by Major Mike Webb. Honest.
Honest. It's acquaintance. Always.